Hello children, let's start Unit 2, Chapter 3, Population Composition. What is population composition? See here, population means people and composition means the ingredients. As if you make some dish, you require some ingredients. Same here, if we ask for the population or people of any country, then it requires some ingredients. So what are the ingredients for people? These are people can be distinguished by their age, sex, and their place of residence. Some of the other distinguishing attributes of the population are occupation, education, and life expectancy. So, these all are the things which distinguish people. The first topic of this chapter is sex composition. The number of women and men in a country is an important demographic characteristic. The ratio between the number of women and men in the population is called the sex ratio. See here the formula. In India, the sex ratio is worked out using the formula female population upon male population into 1000, or the number of females per 1000 males. The sex ratio is an important information about the status of women in a country. किसी भी एरिया का जो women का रेशो है वो बताता है उस एरिया का स्टेटस कि वहां पे उस कंट्री में women का स्टेटस कैसा होगा. In regions where gender discrimination is rampant, ऐसे एरियाज या ऐसे रीजन्स जहाँ पे जेंडर डिस्क्रिमिनेशन का मतलब बॉय और गर्ल में फर्क करना इज रैम्पेंट, एक बहुत ही ज्यादा प्रचलन में है. द सेक्स रेशियो इज बाउंड टू बी अनफेवरेबल टू वुमेन, जहाँ पे सेक्स रेशियो बहुत ही women के लिए अनफेवरेबल कंडीशंस पैदा करता है. सच एरियाज आर दोज वेयर द प्रैक्टिस ऑफ फीमेल फीटिसाइड, जहाँ की फीमेल फीटिसाइड कर दिया जाता है, बच्चे को मार दिया जाता है, फीटस को खत्म कर दिया जाता है, फीमेल इन्फेंटिसाइड, छोटी बच्चियों को मार दिया जाता है, एंड डोमेस्टिक वायलेंस अगेंस्ट वुमेन आर प्रेवलेंट, जहाँ पे ये सब चीजें कॉमन है. वन ऑफ द रीजन could be lower socio-economic status of women in these areas, और ये सब रीजन ही होते हैं जिनकी वजह से women का स्टेटस सोशियो इकोनॉमिक लेवल पर लो होता है. You must remember that more women in the population does not mean that have a better status, और इस तरह के एरियाज में हम सोच भी नहीं सकते कि women empowerment की बात की जाए या वहां पर women का स्टेटस किसी दायरे में आता हो. It could be that the men might have migrated to other areas for employment, और केवल men ही है जो other areas में employment के लिए move कर सकते हैं. Now comes to the age structure. This is the most important factor of population. See, age structure represent the number of people of different age groups. Age groups means infants, how many infants are there, then young people are there, then youth is there, then old people. This is an important indicator of population composition. ये बहुत ही important indicator है age structure population composition का. Since a large size of population in the age group of 15 to 59 indicates a large working population. तो जो 15 to 59 years age के जो लोग होते हैं वो वर्किंग पॉपुलेशन में आते हैं, वो सारे वर्क करते हैं लाइक फॉर इनकम एंड ऑल. अ ग्रेटर proportion of population above 60 years represents an aging population, और जो 60 years या उससे above age वाले लोग होते हैं वो aging population में आते हैं, which requires more expenditure on health care facilities, जिनको ज्यादा खर्च करना पड़ता है health care facilities में. Similarly, high proportion of young population would mean that the region has a high birth rate and the population is youthful. और इसी तरह से हाई प्रोपोर्शन ऑफ यंग पॉपुलेशन, जो यंग बच्चे हैं, वुड मीन दैट द रीजन हैज अ हाई बर्थ, वहां पर बर्थ रेट बड़ी हाई है और इसीलिए यूथ की पॉपुलेशन भी ज्यादा है. सो दिस इज द एज स्ट्रक्चर. Next come to age-sex pyramid. The age-sex structure of a population refers to the number of females and males in different age groups. Age-sex structure, जैसे कि for example, you can see over here, age-sex structure has been given of Nigeria and Australia. Okay, so to the number of females and male in different age group. कि यहाँ पर जैसे how many females are there, how many males are there, and their age groups are there has been given in this graph. So such kind of pyramid has been made. A population pyramid is used to show the age-sex structure of the population. तो जो पॉपुलेशन पिरामिड है वो शो करता है कि कैसे एज और सेक्स स्ट्रक्चर जो है उस पॉपुलेशन को इफेक्ट करता है. द शेप ऑफ द पॉपुलेशन पिरामिड रिफ्लेक्ट्स द कैरेक्टरिस्टिक्स ऑफ द पॉपुलेशन. The left side shows the percentage of males while the right side shows the percentage of women in each age group. So you can see here Nigeria, how expanding population is there. The age sex pyramid of Nigeria, as you can see, is a triangular shaped pyramid. You can see here it is a triangular shaped pyramid with a wide base and is typical of less developed countries. As you know that Nigeria is less developed country, so facilities are less. These have large population in lower age. Lower age में आप देख रहे हैं 0 to 4 में बहुत ज़्यादा है, then 5 to 9 में उससे थोड़ा कम हुआ. ओके, एंड देन 15, जैसे कि हमने बताया 15 to 59 में जो है लोग जब वर्किंग कंडीशन में होते हैं, those are as such. These have larger population in lower age groups due to high birth rate. If you construct the pyramid for Bangladesh and Mexico, it would look the same. Next come to the constant population. Here we can see a pyramid for Australia of constant population. Australia's age-sex pyramid is bell-shaped and tapered towards the top. This shows birth and death rates are almost equal, leading to a near constant population. You can see here that death rates and birth rates are almost equal. No ups and downs are going on. So here because these are developed countries and they are having a good facilities, medical facilities, so birth rate and death rate are almost equal. On an average, the world population reflects a sex ratio of 102 males per 100 females. The highest sex ratio in the world has been recorded in Latvia, where there are 85 males per 100 females. So here, what does it mean? That in some areas, that sex ratio of a male is more than female, and in some areas, females are more. In contrast, in Qatar, there are 311 males per 100 females. This is too much difference. The world pattern of sex ratio does not exhibit variations in the developed regions of the world. The sex ratio is favorable for males in 139 countries. It means favorable for females means the female ratio is more in 139 countries of the world and unfavorable for them in the remaining 72 countries listed by the United Nations. In general, Asia has a low sex ratio. Countries like China, India, Saudi Arabia, Pakistan, Afghanistan have a lower sex ratio. In these countries, female sex ratio is less than male. On the other extreme is greater part of Europe, including Russia, where males are in minority. Russia जैसी जगहों पर जहाँ पर कि male minority में है. A deficit of male in the population of many European countries is attributed to male-dominated out-migration to different parts of the world in the past. So, in this topic, we have learned about that in some areas, male and female ratio is similar. In some areas, male-female ratio is having a difference where male are more, like in China, India, Saudi Arabia, Pakistan, Afghanistan, whereas in Russia, females are more than male. Next come to declining population. The Japan pyramid has a narrow base and tapered top showing low birth and death rates. So low birth and death rates both are low because of these are developed country. Japan is a developed country. So population growth is usually zero or negative here. So such kind of population pyramids you have seen. Now comes to rural and urban composition. The division of population into rural and urban is based on the residents. Means the people who live in rural area are the residents of rural areas and the people who live in urban areas are the residents of urban areas. This division is necessary because rural and urban lifestyles differ from each other in terms of their livelihood and social conditions. So the people who live in rural areas, their lifestyle, their social conditions are absolutely different from the people who live in urban areas. The age, sex, occupational structure, density of population and level of development vary between rural and urban areas. So all these things are absolute different in rural and urban areas people. The criteria of differentiating rural and urban population varies from country to country. Rural areas and urban areas population are absolute different because of few things which varies country to country. अलग-अलग countries में different होती है. In general terms, rural areas are those where people are engaged in primary activities. तो in general terms, rural areas में प्राइमरी एक्टिविटीज लाइक एग्रीकल्चर में लोग ज्यादा एंगेज होते हैं एंड अर्बन एरियाज आर दोज वेयर ए मेजॉरिटी ऑफ द वर्किंग पॉपुलेशन इज एंगेज्ड इन नॉन प्राइमरी एक्टिविटीज. नॉन प्राइमरी एक्टिविटीज मीन्स दे आर एंगेज्ड इन इंडस्ट्री एंड अदर थिंग्स. If we go through the graph, we can see here that the rural-urban sex composition of these selected countries like Zimbabwe and Canada, here Finland and New Zealand. So the rural and urban differences in sex ratio in Canada and Zimbabwe is here, these are western countries, so male outnumber females in rural areas, means male female से ज़्यादा है rural areas में and females outnumber the males in urban areas. और females जो हैं those are outnumbered in urban areas. So in countries like Nepal and India and Pakistan, if we can see, the conditions are just reverse. Like males are more in urban areas because people depend on agriculture in India. So females, if they see the conditions of urban areas, they don't used to move to urban areas, they used to remain in their primary sector like in agriculture only. To urban areas for the job opportunities. Farming is these developed countries is also highly mechanized and remains largely a male occupation. और क्योंकि वहाँ पे जो फार्मिंग है, एग्रीकल्चर है, इट इज़ हाईली मैकेनाइज्ड, इसलिए वहाँ पर मेल ऑक्यूपेशन ज़्यादा है एज अ फार्मिंग इफ वी कैन सी. By contrast, the sex ratio in Asian urban areas remains male dominated due to the predominance of male migration. It is also worth noting that in countries like India, female participation in farming activity in rural areas is fairly high. इंडिया जैसी कंट्रीज में फीमेल्स का फार्मिंग में इन्वॉल्व होना ज्यादा है. क्यों? बिकॉज शॉर्टेज ऑफ हाउसिंग, हाई कॉस्ट ऑफ लिविंग, paucity of job opportunities and lack of security in cities. क्योंकि अर्बन एरियाज में हाउसिंग की शॉर्टेज होती है, हाई कॉस्ट होती है लिविंग की, जॉब अपॉर्चुनिटीज कम होती हैं, सिक्योरिटी पर्पसेस कम होते हैं, डिस्करेज वुमेन इन माइग्रेट फ्रॉम रूरल टू अर्बन एरिया, और ये सब चीजें मिलकर के डिस्करेज करती हैं स्पेशली वुमेन को टू मूव फ्रॉम रूरल टू अर्बन. If we come to literacy, See here, proportion of literate people of a country is an indicator of its socio-economic development. Means literacy, somewhere it depends on socio-economic developments also. As it reveals the standard of living, social status of female, availability of educational facilities and policies of government. ये सब चीज़ें तभी आती हैं निकल के जबकि लिटरेसी हमारी प्रॉपर हो. Level of economic development is both a cause and consequences of literacy. जो लेवल होता है इकोनॉमिक डेवलपमेंट का उसमें दोनों चीज़ें होती हैं कॉन्सिक्वेंसेस एंड कॉजेस जो लिटरेसी पे डिपेंड करती हैं. इंडिया में लिटरेसी रेट जो है वो डिनोट करती है कि कोई भी पर्सन अगर 7 साल से अबव एज का है एंड हु इज एबल टू रीड राइट एंड हैविंग द एबिलिटी टू डू अर्थमेटिक कैलकुलेशन विद अंडरस्टैंडिंग, जो रीडिंग कर सकता है, राइटिंग कर सकता है और अर्थमेटिक कैलकुलेशन कर सकता है और उसकी एज 7 साल से अबव है, इट मीन्स दैट पर्सन इज कैलकुलेट एज अ लिटरेट पर्सन. Now comes to occupational structure. The working population, that is women and men of the age group 15 to 59. As earlier also I told you that working condition में जो लोग होते हैं, जो एज ग्रुप के लोग आते हैं वो 15 to 59 एज ग्रुप के आते हैं. So they take part in various occupation ranging from agriculture, forestry, fishing, manufacturing, construction, commercial, transport services, communication and other classified services. So as such if we calculate all these sort of working, we can differentiate it into 4 parts. Agriculture, forestry, fishing and mining are classified as primary. Number 1, then activities, manufacturing as secondary, trade, transport, communication and other services as tertiary, and jobs related to research, information technology and developing ideas as quaternary activities. So these all are differentiated into 4 parts: primary, secondary, tertiary and quaternary. Population engaged in these 4 sectors is a good indicator of the level of economic development of nation. This is because only a developed economy with industries and infrastructure can accommodate more workers in the secondary, tertiary and quaternary sector. If the economy is still in the primitive stages, then the proportion of people engaged in primary activities will be high as it involves extraction of natural resources. So here our chapter has been completed.